Hello, my bass playing friend. This is Mike Brandenstein with the Worship Bass Workshop recording a video for Jellynote, and I got to tell you, I was tickled when Jellynote asked me to do a bass tutorial for Metallica's song Enter Sandman. You know, growing up in a small town in northeast Ohio, I still remember those cool summer nights when the bedtime, the wind was just kind of trickling in through the screen window, and Mom would come up and tuck me in, and to help me go to sleep, she would sing me one of her favorite Metallica songs. And the one that holds the deepest place in my heart is Enter Sandman. I still remember those words as she sung them as I was dozing off. Sleep with one eye open. Grip your pillow tight. Well, I know a lot of you probably like to do the same with your children, so I'm going to give you the opportunity today to not only be able to sing it, but to play the bass line for your child. So you could bring that bass and crank your amp up when they go to bed, and you could sing Enter Sandman while playing the driving bass part to help your little one be in Neverland. All right, so go get your bass and let's learn how to play Metallica's Enter Sandman. Okay, Enter Sandman now. You know, I got to tell you, I've never been a huge heavy metal fan, never been a big Metallica fan. However, I've played these songs back in other bands back when I was younger, and it has always been some of my favorite music to play. It's just got power, it's got passion, it's got energy, it's just got so much to it to play. So once you get the bass line of this, if you can get together with some guys with a drummer, guitar player, and just jam on this tune, it is a blast, okay? So let's get started on it. The intro now, we're going to be looking at the E string, okay? We're going to be riding the E string, which is our fourth string on a four string, all right? All right, now, as you're riding that, I don't know if you play with a pick or with your finger, but if you're riding that E string, best to use one finger, okay? Because I talked about this in previous videos, but when you're working with two fingers, there's a difference, just like I said with a drummer. If the drummer is hitting an eighth note pattern with one string, with one stick, or with two sticks, alternating sticks, you're going to hear a difference, and you're going to be able to tell. There's more of a drive when it's one stick, and you'll be doing the same thing with your bass. If you're playing it like this, it works. You're keeping, you know, if you're locked in with the drummer and you're, you know, hitting those eighth notes hard, that's great. But when you hit it with one finger, let's see how this sounds. Okay, so there's a little more of a drive to it. So just keep that in mind as you're doing this. And as you're working on these kind of driving songs, these power songs, you really want, and you'll notice also when the guitar players are strumming a power chord, you know, they're hitting it with all down strums. They're not going, you know, sounds kind of muddy on the bass, but they're not going up and down because it changes the whole feel of the sound, okay? So always keep in mind what kind of sound you're reproducing along with the notes, okay? So the next thing we're going to be doing, as we get into this intro, it starts building. This intro is an entire build, so always keep that in mind as well. And what starts happening, you have these hits on the drum where the guitar player goes, okay, bass may be doing that as well, but I think mainly the bass is just riding. The tabs have it where the bass is hitting the first fret on the E string or the fourth string and pulling off. So I want to talk about a pull off here. A pull off is very simply when you pluck the note that you're fretting and then you pull off. So hopefully a little cleaner than that. Okay, so when you pull off, you don't pluck, you just pull off, and that produces the note that you're wanting. All right, you'll have that on two frets when you're fretting two notes, and you kind of do, if I do an octave up, well, actually. All right, so if I go from the F to the E up here, sometimes guitar players will do this kind of thing, this, and they're just doing what are called hammer-ons and pull-offs in series there. So they're doing a hammer-on, which we talked about, I think, last one of those previous tutorials, and the pull-off now. So it's a good thing to kind of practice. So, and this is a good song to work on it because there are going to be a couple other places in the song where you can do this. So as we get into this intro, the intro is building. Okay? Okay, so you'll be doing those pull-offs for the first fret to the open E, and that's an F and an E. So then we get into the main lick of the song, the main kind of the signature lick of the song. It's going to be this. We're hitting an E, and then we're riding the E, and then we're playing the 6th fret of the E string, and then we're playing the 5th fret of the E string. So this has got this little dissonant sound, this E and a B flat together. So a lot of heavy metal songs have that kind of a sound. That's called a tritone. But right now what we're doing is we're hitting the E, and then we're going to the 6th fret of the E string, and then the 5th fret of the E string. So, but the guitar player goes to the octave E here onto the 7th fret of the A string, so he'll play like this. Okay, but bass, I believe, you could do it either way. I think it'll be just fine. I'm hearing different ways. There are a lot of different versions of this song, including a few live versions that you could hear. But we're going to ride the E string. All right. Okay, so that's that lick. All right, so you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that you're just hitting 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, but you're also doing this pull off, and you can alternate this. Some tabs have it with a pull off, some tabs don't. It's not going to make a big difference. It's a really big sound there, so it may be a good place for you to practice your pull offs. So we're riding the E string. There's a little bit of a syncopated beat there, syncopated rhythm, so it's not right on the downbeat. Okay, and then we have this lick here. We go to the 3rd fret of the E string, spending a lot of time on the lower notes here. You got this driving thing happening, and that's going to be happening on the lower notes. So you're hitting the G, which is the 3rd fret of the E string, and then we're going to the open E, 2nd fret of the E string. Okay, then we open the E again, and then we do this. So we hit the F sharp, or the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open. And this is how it sounds. Okay, then we go. Okay, G, or 3. I'll number the frets. 3, open, 2, open, 2, 3, 2, open. Okay. Again. Okay. So we got okay. Good. So that's the signature lick. And then we have the kind of the turnaround, or the little turnaround lick. With the verse, what we do is we're just kind of riding on that E. So we want to make that a nice driving 8th note feel. We're doing it. Now the guitar is doing that pull off from the 1st fret to the open. So, okay. And then we go back to that lick that we did at the intro with the 3 fret, number 3 on the 4th string. Open, 2nd fret, open, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open. I'll do it a little more in time. Okay, so you're in the second part of the verse again. And then we don't go back down to the E, or that open E. We stay on that 2nd fret. So, all right, because that's where we're going into the that's where we're going into that, what I call the pre-chorus. And then, so we'll be on the 2nd fret of the E string, that's an F sharp note. And then we're going to play this, again, this dissonant sounding 3rd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the A string. That's a C and a B. So, and one thing to note is, remember that that F sharp, or that 2nd fret on the E string, is hit with a with an upbeat. So it's got this. Okay, and then we do this. Then we go to E. Now on this E, you'll see on measure number 53. I'll put it up here for you. Where would that be? Up there, I think, or somewhere. You'll see on measure 53 that there is a slide from the 5 to the 7th fret of the E string, okay? So that is, and it's a quick slide. It's a 16th note slide. And what this will look like or sound like is this. Now a slide, once again, we hit the note and then we slide our fretting hand up, okay? So we keep the same. So if we did a hammer-on, we would change fingers. We would hammer on, but what we're doing here is we're sliding, and I'm going to use my ring finger to slide up like this, so it'll sound like this. Okay, so it's almost like a one motion. You're almost not even hearing the A here, or this 5th fret being even heard. So it'll go like this. Okay, so once again. Okay. And then the last lick that you'll hear the bass do there before the intro, or before the chorus, is okay, so it's open E, 2nd fret, open E, 3rd fret, open E, 4th fret, open E, 3rd. So it'll be like this. Oh. And then there's a guitar lick, and then we go into the chorus. I'm sorry, actually we go back into the intro. So okay, so then we go right back into that intro part with that signature lick, okay? So we'll do this in real time, kind of walk through it as we go through it toward the end here. So one more thing, just make sure that you think about, also when you're doing this, that you think about your tone. Usually this kind of a song is going to have a little more of a driving tone. You're going to maybe turn up your treble, which it doesn't really do a whole lot on this. Let's see. There's a little bit. All right, and you're playing, it's probably distorting on here, I'm sure. Yeah. So you're playing this with a little more aggression, okay? So it's kind of a fun song to play, but make sure you are playing the feel of the song, okay? It's not a real difficult song to play, but what, in my opinion, is more of a challenge is locking in with the drums, hitting those rhythms right on, and creating a tone that will match the feel of the song. So let's hear this song in real time, and we'll be back. tutorial was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed doing that song. Most of all, I hope you have a chance to play that song with a band where you can really feel the full passion and power and energy of that tune. So, but secondly, don't forget to click on the Jellynote link so you can download more tabs, chord charts, and sheet music for almost any instrument out there. So, once again, for this... Somebody moved my couch. So, once again, this is Mike Brandenstein from the Worship Bass Workshop recording for Jellynote, and I will see you probably next week. All right, take care.